Hi everyone, this is Tricia. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm giving my small entryway a bit of a makeover. First things first, I'm getting some paint on these walls. I've already started painting my living room, so I'm just continuing with the same color. I have a couple of ideas I'm thinking about for the doors. For now, I'm leaving it as is, and maybe I'll share that in a later video. And since this area tends to be a bit dark, I will be relocating a larger mirror from the living room area. This will help reflect some much needed light from the other side of the room. And our biggest project is going to be refinishing a console that I picked up on Marketplace. Let's get started. This is the console I chose for this space, which isn't the look and style I'm going for, but one of the main reasons I chose it was because of its size. With such a small entryway, I didn't want anything that was deeper than 12 inches. Surprisingly, a bit of a challenge to find because I also wanted a couple of drawers. At this point, I'm not really sure about the top. I don't like the thick coat of paint that's on the edges here. So I'm going to strip the top just to see what's under there, and then I'll decide. The first thing I'm going to do is sand this down as much as I can to eliminate that rough painted texture. I'm using the color Shoelace by Behr. It's what I used in my bedroom makeover, and I'm using it throughout the rest of the house. This has been my go-to white, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a neutral white that goes with any decor. Now back to the console. I stripped the top, and these edges were layers and layers of painted MDF. Even though I don't particularly like the pattern on the top, I may have considered keeping it if the edges were the same. I also stripped a small area on the bottom just to see if there was anything worth saving. That was also MDF. In keeping with my transitional interior design style, I'm painting the entire unit black, doing a faux wood finish on the top and adding modern hardware. After giving it a good cleaning, I started sanding all the painted surfaces. I spent a lot of time sanding. Although it's not perfect, I was able to get most of the texture off. Then I got it all cleaned up and primed with my usual bin shellac primer. Now let's get started on the faux wood finish. I'm mixing white semi-gloss with about a teaspoon of Behr paint in the color Pacific Bluffs, also in a semi-gloss finish. Once it's completely dried, we can start applying the finish. I always use Rust-Oleum glaze in the color Java Brown, and today I'm using a graining tool, a paintbrush, and a cleaning brush from the dollar store. Every time I do this, it's a little bit different. I pretty much work the finish as I go along. After applying some of the glaze, I spread it on the entire surface with a sponge. Then I alter between the cleaning brush and the sponge until I get it the way I want it to look. I used the graining tool one time just to add a bit of texture and then continued working the finish back and forth between the cleaning brush and the sponge. The glaze is very forgiving and gives you a lot of time to work it as much or as little as you like. Now on to painting the rest of the unit. After loading up my Wagner sprayer with my go-to black paint, I gave it a quick test and then got going. I get the best finish when I apply multiple thin coats. I finished up everything with about 3 to 4 coats of Minwax polyacrylic. Since this is going in a high use area, I wanted the extra protection. And now that everything's done and dried, I'm adding some wallpaper to the bottom of the drawers and new modern hardware. I'm adding a bit of wax so these drawers glide smoothly. Now let's put everything together and get this entryway styled. Here's my bright and fresh entryway. I am so happy with the way this turned out. Now the only thing left to do is finish my living room makeover to complete the entire space. Thank you so much for watching. See you next Friday. Bye for now.